You are funny around your coworkers, loose, easy. But with your family, something tightens. You choose your words, you measure your laugh, and with that one person, the one you actually care about, you go quiet in ways you can't explain. Same person, completely different versions. So the question isn't who you are. The question is, why do you keep becoming someone else? Before we go further, there's something important to understand. You are not inconsistent, and nothing about this means your identity is broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do. Every version of you that shows up in a room, the funny one, the quiet one, the one who over-explains, the one who disappears, is following a rule that was written a long time ago. Psychologists call this social self-modulation. But underneath the science, something simpler is happening. Your brain learned that certain versions of you were safe in certain environments, and certain versions were not. This is what we'll call the approval mirror. The pattern where you unconsciously reflect what a relationship seems to need from you, not as performance, but as protection. The approval mirror doesn't mean you are dishonest, it means you are adaptive. And there is a difference. Here is the mechanism. You walk into a room. Before a single word is spoken, your nervous system is already scanning. Who has power here? Who has hurt you before? What response kept things calm last time? This happens in milliseconds. You are not aware of it, but it is happening. Then comes the adjustment. Your posture shifts, your words change, your humor surfaces or retreats. You become the version of yourself that this room, this relationship, historically rewarded. And when that version works, when tension stays low and no one pulls away, the brain files a note. That version is safe. Use it again. This is the engine. Approach, scan, adjust, relief, repeat. The approval mirror locks in. And over time, it stops feeling like a choice. It starts feeling like just the way you are with certain people. Where did this start? Think about early relationships, not dramatic ones, just unpredictable ones. A parent who was warm one afternoon and distant the next, an environment where love felt conditional on behavior. A childhood where you learned, quietly, that being too much of yourself sometimes made the room feel dangerous. The developmental psychologist John Bowlby spent decades studying how early attachment shapes the strategies we carry. When a child cannot predict whether closeness will bring warmth or withdrawal, the child doesn't stop wanting connection. The child becomes strategic about how to approach it. They learn to read the room before entering it. They learn to offer the version of themselves most likely to be received. That is not weakness, that is intelligence under pressure. The approval mirror was built by a mind trying to stay close without getting hurt. But something else happens. The pattern doesn't stay in childhood. It travels. And here is what the brain does that almost no one talks about. It begins applying that same strategy to people who never required it. You meet someone new, someone safe, someone who has given you no reason to hide, and still, the approval mirror activates. Something in you edits before you speak. You offer a version of yourself that has been softened, sharpened, carefully selected. The system designed to protect you from rejection is quietly preventing real connection. You are not keeping people out on purpose. You are just using an old map in a new city. Watch it move through a life. In your 20s, it looks like almost relationships. You get close. Then you sense a shift in temperature, real or imagined, and you start performing. You become whoever the dynamic seems to want. And somewhere in the performance, the real version of you goes somewhere quiet. The relationship continues, but you are only partly in it. In your 30s, it becomes what some call an emotional ceiling. You let people in, but only to a certain depth. You are warm, even loving, but there is a room you do not show anyone, not because you are hiding something, but because the approval mirror has been running so long, you have forgotten that room exists. Later, the pattern disguises itself as preference. You tell yourself you simply prefer things to be uncomplicated. You like your small circle. You value control. And maybe those things are true. But underneath them, sometimes, is a mirror that never learned it was allowed to stop reflecting. This is what the behavior actually does for you. It is not dysfunction, it is regulation. Every time you adjust to the room, every time you soften the volume of yourself, your nervous system exhales. The threat of disapproval never arrives. The relationship stays intact. The anxiety that lived in your chest just for a moment quiets. The approval mirror is a familiar house. Even when the house is small, even when you have outgrown the rooms, it is still yours. It still feels like safety. And that is the truth about patterns we keep returning to. They are not signs of failure. They are signs of how deeply the mind will work to keep you emotionally intact. And then, almost without noticing, the mirror becomes your name. You begin describing yourself through it. I'm just adaptable. I'm good at reading people. I don't like being the center of attention. I'm a chameleon. These things may be true, but they are also the sentences that grew around a strategy. Identity often forms in the shape of protection. The quiet one, the easygoing one, the one who never asks for too much. These are not character flaws. They are the mind doing something remarkably human, turning a coping pattern into a self-concept, so it no longer has to be questioned. And here is the deeper truth. You did not learn to become different people because you are unstable. You learned that some versions of you were welcomed and some were not. You learned to arrive at each relationship with something already adjusted, already prepared, already slightly less than the whole of you. That was not weakness. That was a child, and then a person trying to stay loved in rooms that didn't always feel safe. The approval mirror was never about people-pleasing. It was about surviving unpredictability. It was about keeping closeness alive in relationships that punished too much honesty. You were not pretending. You were protecting something real. And the fact that you can sit with this now, recognize it, name it, see it clearly, that is not small. That is the beginning of awareness.